Welcome to Entrepreneurial Entrails for some short stories on the guts and glories of being an entrepreneur.
Short people got no reason. Short people got no reason.
Good morning. My name is Elizabeth Plouffe, and welcome to Entrepreneurial Entrails. This is a sub-podcast of my Across the Desk brand, where it focuses on the guts and glories of being an entrepreneur. And today's a bit of a stalker story. It's a marketing story as well, but it's a bit of a stalker story. So on the weekend, my husband and I were driving up to get him some new tires. This is not the stalker part. And he pointed to something in his truck console and he said, "Oh, look, I found this guy's wallet." And I thought, oh shit, that's gotta suck because I've had my wallet stolen and I know what a pain in the hiney that is. So I pull up this wallet, man's wallet, a little card tucky thing. And this poor guy, in it, there is his driver's license, his health card, his TD Visa, his Presto card, and I think something else. All of which are going to cost him time, energy, and money to replace. Only thing missing out of all of that was actually any way to get in touch with him. No business card, no phone number in the wallet, nothing. So for me to you guys, here's tip number one. Because we are such a mobile world, please put a card of some kind in your wallet that says, Paddington Bear style, if lost, please return to. At least an email or something, because here's what ended up happening. So, being a mom, actually just being a conscientious human being, I thought, you know what, I'm going to try and find this guy. Because my husband was just going to try and go to his apartment building because the wallet was found in Toronto, but we live in Burlington. The address on the driver's license was in Burlington. That will come back to be important later. So I get my phone out as we're driving along and I look up the guy's name and start looking through. And the first thing that pops up was, a LinkedIn profile. And the photo between what was on his ID, which are never great, and what was on LinkedIn, I wasn't sure. And there was more than one scarfo, and the information just didn't come together. So the next thing I did was I went to Facebook and looked him up there. And sure enough, found him and was able to match the photo that I found to what I saw on there. But then, you struggle again because how deep do you go to get information? And I'll be honest with you, I can't remember if any contact information, I didn't delve too deeply. But what I did discover through his profile was that he worked at a local pub in Toronto, which was near the place where my husband found this wallet. So took it one step further and decided to get in touch with the pub, just to see if the guy actually worked there. Because, I know sympathy sits between shit and syphilis in the dictionary, but everybody has been at that point where they've lost their wallet. And, if you're a decent human being, you're going to want to try and prevent somebody from going through that hassle. So I called the pub, ask if the guy happens to work there. And the young lady that I was speaking to, she said yes. And I said, well, my husband found his wallet and we're trying to find him. And of course, in this day and age, it's kind of hard. So I had become a bit of a cyber stalker. And so she asked me, she said, well, how did you find him? So I told her, and there was a pause, and I thought, she's going to tell me I'm some kind of wacko stalker. And she says, wow, she says, you've gone to a lot of effort to find him. And that's, so cool that you called, and we wish more people would do things like this and what have you. So we ended up connecting with this guy, and he's going to get his wallet back. So he's not going to have to replace any of his ID and what have you. Luckily, my husband works in Toronto, so they're able to connect because, and this is where that before statement comes into effect, his ID was incorrect. He apparently lives in Toronto, has not updated his license and his health card, which FYI, you should really do, especially for cases like this. And my husband did take a little drive over, and he apparently hadn't lived at that address for 2 years. So if we had tried the traditional route to try and return the wallet, mailing it to him or what have you, it would have got lost in limbo. And I don't think he ever would have got it back. It would have been either taken by whoever got it and just, hopefully they would have tried to find him, but who knows. But by going online and by him having at least some semblance of an online presence, I was able to find him. and track him down, and we were able to get his wallet back to him. And so I've done a little more research on this guy, and turns out he's also a blogger for the Canadian Huffington Post. I mean, I haven't gone too stalkery because that's kind of creepy, but it was just interesting to see how his online profile, his breadcrumbs, were able to allow us to find him and get in touch with him. So what's the marketing message for today? It is imperative that, especially if this is for your business, that your online profile is complete, that it is as extensive as you can manage. If you just have a website, for an example, the number of breadcrumbs for people to find you is really, really small. However, when you start looking at social media platforms that can work for you, you start leaving more breadcrumbs. When you start blogging, when you start posting little videos, when you start using a variety of channels to get yourself out there, the trail to find you becomes that much easier. I mean, luckily for this guy, I have a background in this. I'm a pretty good finder of information online. I don't stalk people regularly, but this was a special case. So, but out of that just came to me an aha moment, which I've already had because my online profile is relatively extensive. But from me to you, for your business, make sure that wherever you are, be it your website, your Facebook profile, your Pinterest profile, Twitter, whatever, that there's as much information as possible there. Facebook in particular, there's all kinds of opportunity to put your hours, your email, your phone number, the Google Map link to your location. If you are a solopreneur and you don't want to give out your home address, totally understand that if you're working from home, there are other ways to make sure that people can get in touch with you and locate you and leave those breadcrumb trails. And I'm going to be posting some stuff soon. I've created a little breadcrumb trail tutorial, if you will, that I hope everybody will find helpful. But I just thought this was kind of an important thing to share, that, because he's got an online profile, I was able to find him and connect him back with his stuff. So it was kind of cool. So this is a short one today. It was just a fun experiment to see if we could locate him, and came, of course, to me because I help businesses with their social media profiles. I help them with their online profiles. I help them create the breadcrumbs, and this just perfectly illustrates how important it can be. So, what are some action items for you today? Go online if you have a Facebook page for your business, and double check that as much information as possible is filled out for your business. If you've been toying with the idea of a blog, do it. Just do it. I mean, do it well, preferably, but at least get started. Jump in. It's one more breadcrumb. It's not hard to do. You can do it free at first. You can do it anonymous at first if you need to. Don't suggest it, but whatever you need to do to just get into the rhythm of creating blog content. If you have a product-based business, for God's sake, get yourself a business Pinterest page. Start putting your stuff there. Make sure that business profile, not the personal Pinterest, business Pinterest, is all filled out. There's a ton of information that you can put on there. If you have a business Twitter account, make sure your website's there. Make sure as much contact information is there. Do your Twitter header and your Facebook header to also have, fun stuff and engaging stuff, but more ways to find you. It's important. It's your business. It's not just replacing your wallet and your ID. It's the bread and butter in your pocket that you're leaving behind without a breadcrumb trail. So I hope you're having a fantastic day. Happy Halloween, boo. I don't even know what to say to that, other than tonight I'm going to watch Hocus Pocus, because that's my all-time favorite Halloween movie, and Winifred Sanderson is just a fantastic little witchy poo. And I hope everything's good with you. Just know that you have the guts and glory to make your own story, and your story needs to involve breadcrumbs. And if you're looking for ways to get some help with that, you can continue checking out these podcasts. You can visit my webpage, mcvcommunications.ca, Twitter @mcvplouf, and drop me a line. Love to hear from you. Have a fantastic day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
They got little cars that go beep, beep, beep. They got